So I did my speech on accrued interest from unsubsidized student loans. I have my audience coming in now. I'm going to give them each a handout for my presentation and visuals. And I'll go over everything shortly. And I'll also submit that to Dr. Marlowe online. This is an informative speech about the dangers of accrued interest from unsubsidized student loans. This especially applies to students, parents, and anyone that is interested about finding out more information about student loans. Student loans are a very important subject matter that shouldn't be taken lightly. In an interview done by Sandra Block in the article, Tips Help Handle Student Loans, grads can actually act early to keep them controlled. It stated, because the consequences of defaulting on student loans are nothing short of catastrophic, your credit score will plummet, making it a more difficult time to buy a house or find a job. Your wages may be garnished, and the government may withhold tax refunds or Social Security benefits. Student loans are nearly impossible to discharge in bankruptcy, says Lauren Asher, president of the Institute of College Access and Success. Interest on unsubsidized Stafford and private loans will continue to occur during the grace period, so making small payments or paying just a small interest payments will reduce the total amount you owe. How to apply for a Stafford student loan? First, the first step is to be considered is to file federal money for education is to apply at FAFSA. After applying for financial aid through FAFSA, the school for which you selected will receive your financial aid information, and your financial aid or your EFC or your expected financial contribution will be calculated by the school's financial aid office. The different types of federal loans are unsubsidized and subsidized student loans. Your school's financial aid will award you and award the package details the amount, and in your award package the details of the amount of financial aid you have qualified. The two options that you should be concerned about are the subsidized and unsubsidized loans. Subsidized Stafford loans is based on financial need, and subsidized means that you will not be charged for interest before the start of repayment or during the times of deferment. Basically meaning that the government will pay the interest for you before or during these times. Unsubsidized Stafford loans are not based on financial need. In fact, any eligible student can take out a subsidized loan. However, you will be charged interest from the first day the loan is disbursed until the loan is repaid in full. In the handout that I gave you all, there's the borrowing limits for each student depending on your level of education, first year, second year, third year, beyond, and master's and doctorate degrees. There's also an annual percentage table which is also in your handout. Right now it's 6.8% for unsubsidized student loans, and it has been that way for the past 3 years. The annual percentage rate is not what a consumer would pay annually over the course of a year, but instead how much a consumer pays monthly. This is calculated by taking the principal or total amount of the loan, multiplying by the APR, adding it to the principal, and subtracting the monthly payment if one is made. Along with the APR are monthly interest, there is capitalization, which will be discussed next. Capitalization. What is capitalization? This means that the interest that occurs is added to your principal loan balance, and the interest that begins occurring on the new principal balance, you are essentially paying interest on interest is what capitalization is. In your handout, there are two examples of capitalization. The first example shows the calculation of interest and capitalization in interest-only payment if interest-only payments are made. The second example shows the amount of interest that will be capitalized if no payments are made over 4 years. For example, if you borrow $6,000 in unsubsidized Stafford loans and you defer the interest every month for 4 years, the starting balance will be $6,000. Accrued interest at that time will be $1,632. The balance when you start your payment will be $7,632 with a monthly payment of $87.83. So the total amount of interest on your loan for the entire time of you not paying your Stafford loan for 4 years in college will be $2,907.48. Paying interest while in school will save you money in the long run. If you pay the interest as it occurs on your loan while you're in school or during the grace period, this is also true if you pay any interest that occurs during periods of deferment or forbearance after you leave school. If you choose not to pay interest while you're in school, it will be added to the unpaid principal of your loan in capitalization. Extended repayment is also available. This will extend the loan repayment of your financial aid loans for up to 25 years. To qualify for extended repayment, you must have at least $30,000 exclusively in federal loans or direct loans. One note is you have to take into consideration is don't consolidate your federal student loans with private student loans. If you do, you'll lose the protection provided to federal student loan borrowers. Also, keeping copies of everything that you make is a very important record-keeping detail for your financial documents. The first time that you accept financial aid by putting together a file that includes copies of your promissory note and the award letter that indicates the amount you're agreeing to pay. Updating your file with each new transaction and regularly reviewing these documents will help keep track of your debt. By keeping a track along the way, you will know what payment you ultimately will be facing, and then you can make an informed decision whether it is wise to accrue more debt. The amount of monthly payment that you will be comfortable with is a personal choice that only you can make, and having your information organized and accessible may help make this decision a little easier. In a closing statement, students should only borrow what is needed for educational costs. Borrowing more than what is needed can have a detrimental effect on your financial future. Student loans are like no other loans. Lenders and debt collection companies can, and in most cases will, come after federal loan defaulters with vengeance. Loan payments can be deducted from a borrower's wages, income tax refunds, or the account can be overturned for collection, which of course means more fees added to the loan. Federal benefit payments for defaulters, including Social Security benefits, can be taken. Borrowers can be sued for the entire amount of the loan, and there is no time limit for collection on federal student loans. They are liable for any collection or court costs, and they might not be able to renew a professional license. On top of this, it is nearly impossible to erase debt in your from bankruptcy. That's it.